Goals, goals, and more goals. That's what happened this week in the Premier League. We're going to cover it all. Transfer window is also winding down. So we got a packed show today here on the Premier League show. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Premier League show. Bit different again. I keep surprising you guys all. I'm just shifting. Last week was chill on the couch. Today's still going to be chill. We're going to be chill on the chair in front of my screen here. Just discussing the Premier League. Look, it's a massive, massive week. It's a Tuesday night here in Australia. There's so much going on. Obviously, we're going to recap the games that happened, but also let's just talk as well about the transfer window. So I do have my handy dandy laptop. We're going to be following along. So if anything breaking comes in, we do have some big news. We will cover you on it. Let's load Fabrizio and David Ornstein on. Oh, we do have a here we go coming up, but on the thing, just so we're all set up. David Ornstein, let's go. The Ornacle. All right. So we're all set up. We'll run through the transfers in a moment as well, because there are some big ones today. Fabrizio Romano has been busy man this morning. He's unleashed like a record amount of here we goes for one morning. It's crazy. But yeah, let's talk the Premier League, and we're trying to still figure out where this thing will shape up. Obviously, it's very early on in the window. It's not in the window, late in the window. It's early in the season, and it's that time of the year kind of where we're trying to kind of figure out where everybody stands. Everything's trying to take a picture, and of course, as I said, it's late in the window, so many things can change. Team players can come in, players can come out. So we'll kind of give you a mix here. It's a bit more chilled out zone area for you guys to check out. So this is, Premier League show is now kind of the place for us to chill, relax, talk some ball. And as I said, in the future, this will be a live setup. So, but before we get into anything, guys, make sure you hit the like on the video. Make sure you're subscribing to Hotsport. All right. We've had so much content come out in the last couple of weeks since we really restarted, and it's just, I feel like we're hitting so much momentum. Thank you guys so much for the support on TikTok and Instagram as well. We've had a lot of views on our TikToks and our Instagrams. So look, that's kind of, again, here we're using a combination of all the things, of all the different platforms, so that way you can make sure that you guys are kind of following us on all the platforms. So I will drop some videos on Instagram and TikTok exclusively that you won't get on the YouTube. So make sure you also follow us there, guys. Quick, let's do some here we goes. Just breaking now. Kepa leaves Chelsea. He's joined Bournemouth. Is this a loan? Chelsea. Yep, he joins Chelsea on loan until next season. So Kepa Arrizabalaga on loan to Bournemouth. I'm not going to say here we go. That's so cheesy, but it is. It's a Fabrizio here we go. The other one, the big one of the day. Actually, we've had Giorgio Mamardashvili. That was revealed late last night or early this morning our time. He will join Liverpool from Valencia. However, he is going to go back to Valencia on a season-long loan. So again, that doesn't really affect Liverpool's season. We're not talking about rumors. We're just talking about confirmed deals. The big one today, Emmanuel Ugarte to Manchester United. That has been confirmed by both David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano. Finally, what seems like to be a summer-long transfer deal is going to get sealed now. Manuel Ugarte will become a Man United player. And I think, look, might as well talk about Man United because that's where obviously the week began, and this was the team of all the top teams. I feel like everybody, all the teams were happy this weekend except for Man United. And yeah, look, it's interesting because I felt it was a bit of a smash and grab by Brighton in the end. I thought Man United had a few disallowed goals. But look, they're clearly missing something. Let's take a recap here. I'm still just bamboozled by Erik ten Hag. And I'm going to call things out. I'm going to be open and be critical of all teams, including my own. This is obviously not my team. But again, what is with this lineup? Let me read out you the lineup here again. Bruno Fernandes at striker. This is now back-to-back weeks. After last week, Joshua Xerxes proved that he was that he was the most clinical striker that they had available fit. Again, he persists with Harry Maguire in the starting 11. I don't understand how he could think that's okay. Just being honest, again, Garnacho starts on the bench. I don't understand. I think Garnacho is their best attacking player, if in all honesty. If I was Ten Hag, I would have started with, considering that Højlund is injured, I would have started with Xerxes up front, Mainu in the 10. Thing is, Rashford's struggling for form. I would almost say Rashford and Garnacho, but given the fact that Rashford's been out of form, I would say Amad Diallo and Garnacho. It's young, but I still think it's vibrant because you've got some good pacey wingers, good tricky pacey wingers, along with a creative 10 and Joshua Xerxes, who's a clinical striker. By the way, he had a goal. He had the disallowed goal because he touched it from an offside position, even though it would have been an own goal. That's an insane call by the referee again. So refereeing decisions. I'm not running through the action because you've seen my shorts. So I'm just going through just how I feel, my opinions. This is more of an opinion area. My reels are more for I give you quick opinion. I give you the the pulse and the feel of the game, and obviously the back and forth action. But here is more extended. That midfield. Now you've got Manuel Ugarte in there, so I think Ugarte and Mainu would then partner. So the thing is here, so because Bruno is in the front, you've put Mason Mount at number 10. I just don't think Mason Mount's been really good enough. He was hooked off at halftime. I think moving forward, that lineup would be, Mainu, Ugarte, Bruno. That's a really good midfield. I mentioned that last week in my post last week, but now it's official. Manuel Ugarte is a Man United player. Not fully announced, but here we goes for me. Means that the deals have been agreed and signed. It's only a matter of formalities. So, in all intents and purposes, he's now there. So Ugarte, Mainu, Bruno, Garnacho has to play. I don't know why he's not starting. I don't know. And take your pick up Ahmad and Rashford. And then for the moment, Xerxes up front, but obviously when he comes back, Højlund up front. The back line it's all wrong because of Harry Maguire. So you put just because it's just a massive. Honestly, Harry Maguire, I was so happy he didn't make the England team, just personally, and I feel bad for Man United fans that they still have to put up with this guy. I don't know how he ends up being put into everyone's starting lineups. It's crazy, but I would have replaced him with De Ligt. So here we go with the yawning. It's late-ish last tonight. I had to get some work done, so I'm squeezing this in. I'm trying to go through as quickly as possible. But yeah, look, I still think look, they have yet Lenny Euro to come back from injury. They got Rashford to come back from injury. I think the big problem here with Man United, to be honest, is Eric Ten Hag. I don't understand why they kept him on. I do. I've explained to you. I said in my season preview or my questions, right? I know what they kept him on. They kept him on for continuity because they wanted to have advantage. Sorry. Over teams like Chelsea. Honestly, the fact that Chelsea sacked Poch, I think played a ripple effect, and it made United keep Ten Hag, because I just feel like Man United felt like they got some momentum at the end. They won an FA Cup. You might as well keep the guy on, and he gives continuity, which gives you an edge. Because we'll talk about Chelsea in a moment, and they're actually looking pretty good under Maresca. But look, Man United, they were poor in general. I've rewatched kind of the highlights. I thought they weren't bad, and Brighton had their part, but overall, I just think it's a managerial issue. Oh, sorry. I might have to get myself some coffee for this stream. Yeah, it's a managerial issue, and I think he's on his last legs. Seriously, if Man United don't make the top 4 this season, I think Ten Hag is gone. And this top 4 race, I remember I asked you in my second preview video, and actually this is the video that got the most watches of all my preview videos, because it's intriguing. Man United, Spurs, Chelsea. It's a big question. West Ham, got their season up and running this time with the win. Villa beat them last week, but they lost to Arsenal this week. So those teams are in it. Newcastle, let's see. Newcastle, they won with 10 men the first game, which showed a lot of balls. And this game they drew 1-1. You're going to find a lot about Newcastle next week against Tottenham. I don't know why, but I'm expecting a big performance from Newcastle. Is that game in... So see, I have a theory here. Honestly, when it comes to the team, especially earlier on in the season, I feel like it's very dangerous to take on a team that's either drop points because everyone's sort of wanting to get their season up and running. Everyone has got these expectations. Everybody is trying to win. And so I feel like Newcastle haven't really gotten their season up and running. They got the 1 goal at home with 10 men, again, as I said, respectable. And this time they went away to a draw. Right? They went behind early. Anthony Gordon dug them out. And, they salvaged a point. Next week is Tottenham. And I feel like Tottenham, this week, maybe we'll get into Spurs now. That was my second match. But Tottenham this week, they felt like they came out and they needed something to prove. They underachieved in the previous week, and they felt like at home they wanted to get themselves up and running, and that's what they did. And that's why I think, as I said, to Newcastle Super Bowl game is at St. James's Park. Let's not forget that Newcastle absolutely obliterated Tottenham in Newcastle. So while Tottenham have won this game, and it was against Everton, a team that is really struggling, honestly, I might really consider putting Everton in relegated. That's the way they've been looking. Sorry. My apologies again for the yawning. Might actually have to go and get some coffee for this show, so I'll maybe split this segment in half or finish this segment, and then I'll bring a coffee for the next segment, because we need to be up here. We need to be up. There's so much happening in the world of football, okay? Sorry, everyone, giving you some eye contact. I'm just spitballing here is a lot. This is more natural. As I said, these Premier League shows are going to be a lot more natural, a lot more informal. Our previews were all professional. We try to do our best with our match reviews on the reels to being very professional. But the style of this show I've decided for this season is chilled. As I said, I've taken the inspiration from my buddy Philly 500, who does Victory Cigar videos. Now, we will not be doing Victory Cigar videos in this show. I don't smoke. So the closest thing I can do, maybe we'll do like a coffee. You know, we'll chill out with a coffee. Maybe that's what we'll do. Gotta do some sort of shtick. And I gotta do some sort of way to celebrate Arsenal wins as well. I feel like that could be really cool. A victory something. I'll have to get together with the other powers that be at Hotspur. just me and my girlfriend. But we'll discuss. We'll put our brains together. We'll figure it out. Anyway, back to Tottenham. I thought it was a thoroughly impressive performance, and as I said, I predicted it so. By the way, we gotta go by Anton's picks. It's going to be a thing. We're doing that at the beginning of every week. So a lot of this stuff is on the fly, and so you can expect now no preview shows. We're doing review shows. Premier League show once a week. We're going to do the reviews as the game, instant reactions, as they say. And we're going to do, before the beginning of every week, we're going to do Anton's picks. So it's going to be kind of a preview, and we're going to run through all of the games as quickly as we possibly can. But look, as much as I say I'm thinking Newcastle will be big next week, I'm going to save that prediction for Anton's picks. So make sure Anton's picks are not on YouTube. They are exclusively for the reels, because I want to make sure that at this moment in time that I'm also, as much as I'm building up my subscribers here on YouTube, I'm building up following on my social media platforms. So Anton's picks will be out on the social media. Look out for that. So I'm not going to spoil that for you right now. But Spurs. Look, as I said in my video, as an Arsenal fan, it's hard to say, but I was impressed. And look, I was impressed by the performance. I knew they were back, but I knew that they would bounce back. And I said that in my preview, in Anton's picks. I said they would bounce back. This was one of the Anton's picks that I got correct. By the way, just a recap of Anton's picks, just as we're on the subject. So, grading Anton for the week. Brighton against Man United, call that a draw. And it being a Brighton win. It's interesting. I went against my better judgment, because I did start the video saying, you know, I'm going to the week thinking Brighton, but I thought Man United have improved. I guess they just haven't. And then, so that's what you learn. You learn by watching. Palace and West Ham, I called that a draw. Loss. So West Ham win. So that's 0-2. Not a good start, as I mentioned to begin with. But for the rest of the Saturday, Anton was bang on. So as I mentioned, Tottenham won. I said that Tottenham would beat Everton. Look, it doesn't take a wizard to pick that one. I said that Man City would beat Ipswich. Right? Okay. 2-2. 2 out of 2. I said, and this was a big one, because a lot of people were telling me, oh, you guys are in trouble, or you guys can't, no, Villa is your bogey side. They beat you twice last year. Best you can hope for is a draw. And we went out, and I said, I knew it. I knew we'd win. I knew we had that mentality. I knew that we didn't forget about the 2 games that Villa play. Like, we have long memories. Like, when you're chasing for the title next year, the places that you screwed up you're always going to circle them on the calendar. And I knew we would take care of business against Villa. The games that are more dangerous for me are ones that we picked up good results in the season prior, and we may overlook them, or on a short week, or when you have Champions League in between and stuff like that, right? But Villa away, I kind of knew that we were going to go and make a statement. Arsenal, brilliant. We're going to get back to that in a second. I'm just recapping Anton's picks. So, yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That was 3-2. Anton 3-2. We go into the Sunday. Sunday I did not do well. Okay. Bournemouth against Newcastle, I said Newcastle would win. That was a draw. So back to 3-3. And this is the one, this is Anton's, where Anton was wrong. I get that from Colin Coward. Where Anton was wrong, I said that the Wolves-Chelsea game would be a draw, and only because out of respect to Chelsea. Otherwise, I would have been leaning Wolves. Not only was I wrong, I was emphatically wrong. Chelsea put 6 on the road at Molineux past Wolves. By the way, that mascara, again, coming on my show back-to-back weeks. Dude, watching him, he was back to his old... I'm really making sure I control my bad language. He was back up to his old, housery. If you think about the first word there. Yeah, the guy, I don't know. I don't like him. He's become like, he's come into this league and he acts like an animal. Like, no, I'm really not impressed by this guy. Yeah, so then that was wrong. That was 3 right, 4 wrong. And then I said Liverpool I used the word destroy, but a win is a win, 2-0. It was, at all intents and purposes, in terms of play, it was a destroy. They just didn't destroy them by on the scoreboard. Yeah, 62% possession. Almost doubled in almost total in passes. 19 shots, 8 on target. Still was a destroy. But so 4-4 for Anton's first picks weeks. 50%. I'm aiming to do better next week. Next week should be more fun because we're gonna have a lot of big matchups next week. So yeah, we're gonna look forward to that. Anyway. Yeah, so let's first of all take a look. Fabrizio Romano. Anything extra? Anything after the Kepa news? No. Anything from Ornstein? Actually, we do have an update from Ornstein. Scott McTominay's new from Man United to Napoli is now down to finalizing personal terms between Man United midfielder and Napoli. So not flying yet, but subject to agreement on contract. The Scotland international will travel for medical ahead of the proposed switch. That is from David Ornstein. I'm going to make a segment switch here for a sec. I'm just going to grab myself some coffee because I am yawning like crazy, and I will be back. All right, we're back. And it's coffee time. By the way, guys, just showing you this cup. I got it from, actually, the Armory, which is the shop at Arsenal. I'll give you a good look here. Shop at Arsenal Football Club. It's a Thierry Henry mug. And the other side it goes, 14 legend, right? So Thierry Henry, legend. Still the GOAT of the Premier League. I don't care what everybody else is saying. This is the greatest player to ever grace the Premier League, right? Just class, great scorer, great fun, great leader, greatest that's ever played in the Premier League, all right? So, obviously Thierry has to feature in any show called about the Premier League. So, Bingo wants another quick guest appearance, so here he is. Say hi, Bingo. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Good boy. See? He knows. He was on the show last week, obviously. And so he is well aware that this is his opportunity to make it onto YouTube. See, he's back. Bang. Good boy. Hmm? Bango. Okay. Huh? Good boy. Hmm? All right, Bango wants to stay. You gonna sit here and talk about Premier League? Okay. So, anyway, back to the results. Let's get through this. So, look, I was really impressed by the performance of Tottenham. I think that. Look, I think again, Everton is really poor, and some of these fixtures were just kind of like perfect for domination, in general. And now I'm sort of like, well, we could look at we were kind of always focusing on the top teams, but sometimes you get a sample size of some of the bottom teams in the games that they've played, and you go, oh wow, this team is in trouble. Like honestly, I don't see any redeeming qualities right now about Everton. I think one thing I underestimated about Everton. See, this is a thing. By the way, this is a bit of a plug. We're gonna have a season prediction show after the window is closed. Actually, if you look out for a few things, actually. So I said, I'll give you a plug, by the way, onto the channel and kind of the stuff that's coming up. And again, we got so many big plans. And to the few of you who are watching this stream, now you get to see, because obviously I'm sharing it with the people who actually follow this channel and appreciate this channel. So I'm going to kind of give you a bit of a preview of what's going on. We got in the pipeline. We have a transfer deadline day show coming up Saturday morning. I'm going to see what I can do about making it a live stream, although it's hard to do it without the monetization. So I'll see what I can do, if I can try to spin that maybe away. But I think as the window is closing, I think maybe in the final hour of the window, we'll do a transfer window show. So we'll talk about all the deals that went down during the day. And then I think we'll start to look at how that impacts finally going forward. And after that, the week after that, during the international break, hopefully I'll have some special guests and a special season prediction show. So not only going to get predictions from me, you're going to get predictions from some special guests that I'm bringing on. Oh, good boy. I know you guys are all distracted by Bango here. You're going to go down? Bango, stay. Bango, no barking. We're on the Premier League show. Bango, we're recording. Bango, we're recording. Yeah, so I did say in general, we are gonna have, basically we'll start the weekend, Anton's picks, then we're gonna have the the instant reactions, we'll call them, and then the Premier League show. This week we are gonna have we're gonna do first transfer deadline special. Again, I have the advantage here of the deadline closing in the morning on Saturday here, so I will be awake, wide awake. It'll be nice in the morning. Nice way to start the morning with you guys. Obviously, be jumping out of bed, excited to see what kind of deal has transpired over the night. And you'll be, it's like Christmas Eve for football fans, transfer deadline day. And I'm expecting this year to be a cracker of one. I think some big names might move on the final day. And I think there'll be some surprises, some deals we have that are in the pipeline that nobody's talking about right now. Yeah, and some teams that have been busy the whole time might still be busy. Like, watch out for Chelsea. Watch out, I think, for Manchester United. Definitely watch out for Arsenal. I think that they have about 3 days left to go in the window. 3.5 days. And I still think Arsenal might bring in 2 or 3 more players after Mikel Merino. It is possible. I think 2, because I think that Ramsdale is going to go, and I think that backup keeper is going to come in, And then I think that Arsenal's going to get that attacker, and if not two. So I think either they're going to get a really big one, like a big surprise, and it's going to be one, or they'll probably go maybe to two backup options just so they can still bridge that gap with Man City. That's kind of the way I feel, and it's not my feeling. It's kind of loosely based off the reporting that I've been seeing around everywhere. So I'm just kind of pieced together. I think a lot of us fans have seen together. I've seen James on AFTV or the Gooniverse into this stuff as well. By the way, I love James. James, if you ever get to watch this, big up to you. You're the best guy on AFTV. After Robbie, of course. You know, hail the dawn. But after Robbie, dude, James is great. Yeah, so that should be fun. So then this weekend, and after that, then we'll be Anton's picks. Which I guess I'm waiting for that deadline to come, because let's see, there's some deals that might happen that are prior to the deadline for registering players for match week 3. He's so cute, see? He's so cute. He's so cute, see? He's so cute. You're so cutie. Okay, Bengo. Come on, come down. Go down. Here, bang. Fetch. You're seeing a lot. See, as I said, chill. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up. But again, what do we think? By the way, just maybe we're not going to go match to match here. But let's group them. The other one we'll talk about in this group here. Yeah, Chelsea put 6 past Wolves. I'm not going to lie. I called out Cole Palmer last week. 4 G&A this week. 1 goal, brilliant goal, well taken. 3 assists. And I'll reiterate this as much as I can. I'm not a fan of... I'm not going to be like other YouTubers. I'm like, we have to, put players in a similar age bracket who all play similar positions. We're going to pit them against each other. I'm an England fan. I might do that with other, with players from other countries. Like I'll compare players, Spanish players who I funny how Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal just skipped the queue of all the greatest wingers in the world just because they saw one tournament. That type of stuff. But I love Cole Palmer. Even though he's at Chelsea and Chelsea frustrate the life out of me, just the way they operate and do business, you gotta say, I'm always gonna call it as I see it. I thought they were solid against City, even though they lost. I think it was 2 clinical moments by City that really made the difference. Chelsea, we're with them for most of the game. They were not pumped, right? They obviously had the 2-0 win against Servette. I also didn't think that was a great performance. And in the first half of this one, I also didn't think it was a great performance. The fact that they score and then they concede right after, it's just the hallmark. It reminds me of Arsenal. Like when we were in, during the dark times. Or the late Arsene Wenger days. It reminds me of that. I remember we had, what was that game against Newcastle that we won, 7-3? It was 3-3 before that. These games happen, man, and Chelsea fans are all getting gassed. Oof. We're all apologizing to Chelsea after one game. But I'm not gonna sit here the way I said, when I did my prediction, I said, look, realistically, Chelsea are gonna, be inconsistent, and they might end up being 9th. I think I'm gonna move them higher up, by the way. And I might even move them up into the top 4. Although sometimes I just feel nervous doing that. That's why I want to see their game against Palace next week. So we got a big week lined up next week. So not only is the window shutting, there are a multitude of what I call big games. And just to give you an insight into what I call a big game is that I nominate a top 10 at the start of the year. And in any teams meet inside that top 10, that's a big game. So for instance, Crystal Palace as my 10th placed team, that I think is going to stay. By the way, they've lost Joachim Andersen since we've last spoken. Rumors still about Gahey going to Crystal Palace, but still, yeah, look, even that one, Crystal Palace might get replaced, and we'll have to, renominate a 10th team. We'll see how the window goes again. And they've also lost their first two, so not a good start for them. But yeah, again, that's a tough one, man. That's a Crystal Palace team who lost both games against a Chelsea team who's feeling themselves and were so inconsistent and are always vulnerable against a side like Palace. But that's a big game. So you got Palace against Chelsea. You've got, in terms of big games, Man City and West Ham, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, Liverpool. So we have the last 4 games of match week 3 are all big games. So 8 of the top 10 are playing each other. The ones that are not, Arsenal is playing against Brighton, and Villa is playing against Leicester. So pressure on those teams just to pick up the 3 points against teams that they should beat. And I fully expect them to. But yeah, where do we, come on, let me think. Where do we put Chelsea? What do we think about this Chelsea performance? What do we think about the Tottenham performance, the 4-0, right? And then Man United have got, at the moment, Man United have kind of shown me, I think there's slight improvement. And I'm wanting to see what it's like when they're healthy. Manuel Ugarte, by the way. I also want to reserve, I hope Manuel Ugarte starts and plays the Liverpool game at Old Trafford. See, that's a big thing. It's good. Before I stamp in, the book is sealed on my predictions for the season. I want to see some of these games. It means you get to see Man United, Liverpool. With Ugarte in there, hopefully. Man United still have a chance to change their mind. But at the moment, you gotta say, see, Spurs were not impressive against Leicester. See, I think even though Spurs got the draw, I thought Spurs were least impressive against Leicester versus how Chelsea played against City. At the moment, you've got to edge. Sorry, my dog is moving everything. You have got to edge Chelsea in the top 4 at the moment. See, it's live. At the moment, it's live. We'll see it. They moved all the way on my book from 9th to 4th. Keep in mind, Teoriori. Keep in mind that, what else? See? Keep in mind, I've got West Ham in there. I've got Villa in there. Right? And I've got Newcastle in there. Which can be forgotten and fall under the radar. I actually do think, after seeing us play Villa, they're still tough, but they have dropped off. They have dropped off. Their levels dropped a little bit. Maybe too early to say. We caught them at a really good time. But we didn't score against Aston Villa last year. We put 2 already in the first game. So again, I still do, I don't know. They had an impressive win against West Ham, but then they lost to Arsenal. So there's someone in there. I'm gonna kind of default to the top 6. Maybe I'm actually gonna be honest. If any of them is gonna finish 9th, at the moment it's Man United. But I'm gonna give them all the benefit of the doubt. And I'm gonna say, at the moment, at the moment. Chelsea been the most impressive. Spurs the second. So actually they flipped. Man United was the winner last week and now they flipped. And Man United just... Ten Hag needs to. I'm sorry. Like, as an Arsenal fan, I go, whatever Arteta does, I trust him. If I was a Man United fan right now, I'd just be like, man, does this guy... What is with this guy? Is he possessed? You think Bruno's a striker? You spent money in the summer on a striker, and he's coming off the bench. Scored for you last week. Almost scored for you this week. What are you doing? You think Mason Mount is the answer? Get off of it, Ten Hag. Get off of it, Ten Hag. Let's talk a little bit about the title race team. So we're bunching them up. Man City really beat up on little poor Ipswich, didn't they? Damn, they're a machine. And when they get going, you know what? I actually feel like I watch these same games over and over and over again. Like, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for them to drop points. I didn't expect it this week. Again, Anton's picks told you Man City to win. But I'm still waiting on some drop points. Maybe West Ham away is difficult, but I still think they'll probably win. Again, not locking that in. Anton's picks, plug, coming up after the transfer show. Yeah, man, they're impressive. Like I said, it's going to be tough. Arsenal have also been really impressive. Arsenal and Liverpool, by the way, have not conceded. And by the way, I really shout this out to Liverpool. It's important I say this because I kept sliding them last season towards the back end of the season. The difference between Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot in the positive category for Liverpool is Arne Slot seems to have Liverpool a lot more well-drilled on the defensive side of the football. And the big criticism was that they didn't end up getting their DM. Gotta shout out Gravenberch. 2 solid performances at DM for Liverpool. Let's see. By the way, Liverpool could bring in Federico Chiesa, so that really spices things up. In fact, think about the depth that Liverpool have. So you have Salah, you've got Diaz, then you got Gakpo, then you're gonna have Chiesa. That is some really good depth. Like, Chiesa's one of the best attacking players for Italy. No, the best attacking player for Italy, for sure. Gakpo's the best attacking player in the Netherlands. So those are 2 footballing nations with history, yeah? Diaz, right, for Colombia. And then you got Salah, who's obviously Salah. Man, that is a really good... And then you got Jota, and they've got some great attacking options. You just can't count Liverpool. They look more solid, man. They're still building a case. Again, that I'm really curious to see. Man United against Liverpool at Old Trafford. Of course, that is where the slide began last year. So you might almost book Liverpool in. Depends. You have to see what the mentality is. You're going to learn a lot. I think you're going to learn a lot. And that's what I say. But Arsenal, again, 2-0, very professional. They're controlled. They're finding a balance for these title races. I thought 2 years ago they came out, they really wanted to keep all the energy and everything, and they had some big score lines, and they were really impressive, and they ran out to the 8-point lead in the race, and they fell off. They ran out of gas. Players got injured as well. Last year started slow, looking sloppy. Kai Havertz, where does he play? Is he a midfielder? Is he a striker? Drew against Fulham, had the really bad patch during December. They also had some really impressive home wins against rivals, right? Drew against Chelsea at the Bridge. There were a lot of mixed results in the first half of the season that, I think at the moment, I watched Arsenal's first 2 games last year, right? And that was Forest, where we hung on to win 2-1. And then the Crystal Palace game, where we won with 10 men. I believe it was 1-0. Like, the vibes of this is much different, much more comfortable. They just continue in that pattern of being able to control games, go up, squeeze the light, and they really embrace that top defense. It's really, really good. And then City do what they do, which is dominate teams. Since we've spoken, Ilkay Gundogan, I mentioned it in Tom's picks. Brought like that. Honestly, that strikes fear in me, man, because I thought him leaving left the door open. That's a massive one. Look, depends. What are we gonna get? He made a cameo in the second half. Is he a bit part player for them? Is he going to play a massive role? Is he going to score clinical goals? That is yet to be seen. But again, Arsenal and City are right here, and we're going to see. It's still kind of like one or two for me, and I change it back and forth in my mind. As much as I'm an Arsenal fan, I watch City play, and I'm like, ooh, damn, when are they ever gonna, like, sometimes it's so tiring. Like, when are they ever going to drop points? I said this last week. I feel like you're just going to see me complain about City for every single week we come on here. So, yeah, that's kind of the shape of the league at the moment. Let's talk about, also, we should wrap this thing up soon, so we're not going too long over time here. But let's get into some transfer news. Let's see if we have some updates. Fabrizio was always on the thumbs. All right, this is big news in regard to Victor Osimhen. Update: Fabrizio has tweeted 8 minutes ago. Paris Saint-Germain are not working on Victor Osimhen deal. No bid has been submitted. So it seems to me like PSG. Look, he hasn't said they've taken their hat out of the ring, but it seems to me like PSG aren't really prioritizing Osimhen. The thing is, people understand about the window at the moment is people, especially at this point in time, with a few days to go, and somebody's going to make a move. It's a poker game, and you know, as you see, the Al Ahly bid came in for Osimhen, which means that they've now played their hand, like Napoli, in terms of they're willing to accept 65 million euros. Before they were like over in the hundreds, almost double that. Last year, it would have been impossible. It would have been impossible. So, yeah, I don't know. So we'll keep that posted. I still think someone's gonna Osimhen's gonna go somewhere. A lot of people I still don't think. Update. Arsenal update. Yes, thank you. Before we end the show. Eddie Nketiah has been granted permission by Arsenal to undergo a medical ahead of completing proposed move to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is working on a finalized agreement with AFC for a deal worth up to £30 million for the 25-year-old striker on personal terms. No problems to be expected. So Eddie Nketiah, that is as close to as out the door as he can be. He's on his way now to Crystal Palace to undergo a medical. So, huge stuff. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here on a Tuesday. I feel like we discussed as much as we could. We got the pulse on everything. It's exciting. A lot of stuff to come over the week. We will be back. By the way, before I forget, NFL season begins at the end of next week. We will as well be coming out with our previews. So we're going to have, I'm still crunching the numbers, working on our previews and our predictions for the NFL season. 53-man rosters, deadline is tomorrow morning. So we will be almost on the cusp. I've got to put together all my graphics and my intro videos and all that stuff. But NFL coverage on a hot sport is going to make its debut. Obviously, we did the draft, and that was a long time ago. That was almost 4 months ago. But it's going to come back. So, again, everything is happening. Premier League deadline day. NFL season. going to be good. And it's almost a perfect time, by the way, because Premier League will be an international break when the NFL season kicks off. So it's almost like the stars have aligned for Anton to get some balance and not have to be overwhelmed, to get some sleep. Anyway, guys, hit the like on the video if you're watching it, right? Subscribe to the channel. And I've said we've got so many stuff going on to keep you posted. Hit the notification bell so when the videos are coming on. Hit the comment section. I've got so many things. Talk about so many topics today. Let's get that comment section going, man. I'm trying to push this video out to as many people as going. I know I'm sitting here rambling on, and it's just kind of the style of these. It's late, I just kind of want to talk ball to all you guys. Man, it's an exciting time in the window. We will see you guys most likely with a transfer show. Let's see if I get some NFL stuff in before. But transfer deadline day is Saturday morning Melbourne time, Friday night in England. Man, it's getting excited. This is like Christmas for football fans. I tell you, who is gonna get something nice under their tree. We'll see you on the next video.